Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 40, Lamar. Welcome to Sudden Death. Michael Jai White is back.
Our hero, our icon of this show is in his own version of Jean-Claude Van Damme's Sudden Death.
Which was basically a Die Hard ripoff. Die Hard in a hockey stadium or hockey arena.
Pretty much, yeah. So, it was during that time where everybody was like, how do we make Die Hard different? We add hockey.
And now you fast forward 25 years. You got Michael Jai White, Die Hard / Sudden Death, soft reboot, soft remake, whatever.
We broke it down. It's, Die Hard with basketball in it. Michael Jai White is a former, of course, special ops person. He got injured. What? Special ops person?
I like that they added that in there.
Yeah, well, it explains. Not like the original Sudden Death where he was just kicking people in the face.
Yeah.
So this time he's former special ops. He got kind of injured, but, he's done with war. He's back at home with his family. Family-oriented guy getting back to civilian life. He has this job as a security guard. Being the good, great father he is, takes his kids to a basketball game, but something goes afoot. And terrorists attack.
As always, the terrorists.
As always, damn it. And then, Michael Jai White has to save his daughter, but also Diana Smart, who is kind of like she's kind of like Steve Jobs in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really explain it. Like, she does something.
And her
like
dumb rapper boyfriend.
Millie.
Yeah, Millie.
Yes, and then, and they're trying to steal $1 billion.
It's almost impossible to talk about this movie without talking about the original because they copied almost every beat of the film. Like, he takes his kid to the game. He's like, you kids stay here. Don't leave your seats. And of course, that turns off how bad.
Even the same type of kids too. One son and a daughter. Yeah. So
the terrorists take over the building. Now he's got to race around the building, getting rid of the bombs, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it definitely, there's nothing new as far as that goes. It takes all the beats from the original.
Hold on though, he has a sidekick.
That's true. I was gonna get into that.
Sidekick by the name of Gus,
right?
Janitor, played by the comedian Gary Owens.
Yeah, they did add some of those elements. They added Gus to add some comedy to it. Yes. I don't know. I didn't really like that aspect of it that much. It was a little too goofy, honestly.
He was one of the sidekicks that was too funny too many times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was some parts where he was funny.
Right.
But then it was like some parts where it was like, we didn't need that. This is serious.
It was almost unbelievable that a person like this would exist and act that way in this situation. You know what I mean? So but one thing that we mentioned before that I really liked about this movie is that it started off giving you a backstory on the character. He's in like the war and stuff. It shows you how he gets his injuries. It kind of gives you a better glimpse into his mindset, all that stuff. Now, one thing, running joke throughout the thing is like he's bad with direction.
That could have been something better. But it was a little bit like Gus kind of hinted at it.
But then you would think, like, if the guy is like a military man and stuff, that would probably not be a problem he has,
I don't know. I'm not a military person per se, but I can suck at directions every once. That could have been that could have been a more funny thing that Gus could have played off of.
Yeah.
That could have set up his character. Well, it kind of did, but not as much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some of the other things that I liked about this movie is updating it from the original. The criminals are going for more like Bitcoins, stuff like that. And like they can't get into the arena with weapons, so they have to fabricate weapons with 3D printing. Like once they get in, like that's a cool thing. So they did add some cool stuff that updated from the original.
Yeah, I really liked that sequence because I never thought about that because, they explain it in the movie, and then it's kind of like, oh, you see like the whole machine make like the actual weapons. And they're not like hardcore weapons either. They can only fire like 6 shots, and it's a revolver, but that's the only thing that can get inside. Yeah. So
That was a cool element. Another thing, Michael Jai White's wife is in the movie.
Yes.
We won't spoil that whole what happens, but I liked her in the movie. Actually, as a character, as a performer, I felt like I would want to see more of her. You know.
I think she's in some other stuff. I remember, well, a little tidbit, like she was one of her first roles was in this movie called How to Be a Player. That was something that was cool that she's still acting all the way from then because she's had constant work, but yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah. So get into the rating, Joe. Go ahead, do it.
All right, so we'll get into the rating. You want me to go first, or you want to go first? Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was entertained by the movie. The thing when you think about the original was kind of a big budget blockbuster. This movie doesn't have that budget, and it shows. Some of the CGI is really bad. And I watched a movie like this because I'm a Michael Jai White fan, and basically you will like this movie if you're a Michael Jai White fan and you just want to see Michael Jai White beat some people up. Good fight scenes. If you're a big Van Damme sudden death movie fan, you won't be entertained by this as much because it's just taking the same beats, but it's not as big. So for me, It's like I did like it. So I'm gonna say to balance those things out, it's like a 3.5 out of 5 for me.
Joe, I think we're developing kind of a I don't know what you would call it, like a psychological connection, because I'm going to say 3.5 as well.
Okay.
And it's basically the same reasons, because I would have liked this movie to get it out the way. Like you said, if it had a bigger budget, it would have been cooler. But with what they had, they used well, because I was actually shocked that they filled up the stands. I was like, oh, they have people, in the stands and stuff like that. The way it was lit too, it was very like everything was like even lighting kind of and everything like that. So, they couldn't put time into doing different lighting scenes. The action scenes with Michael Jai White, very well done.
Very good. Good fight
I like
scenes.
There's one in a locker room, which I will not spoil, that was very well done. That was awesome. And yeah, they didn't have the big enough budget, but yeah, I would say a 3.5. They did good with what they had. And apparently this movie is doing well as it is right now. So that's interesting.
So, and then filling up the stands, I think some of that was CGI. There was definitely a scene where there was an announcer guy talking, and the crowd behind him was CGI'd.
Definitely. I know exactly what scene you're talking. I was like, that is green screen. It has to be green screen.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that where it's like it's a movie that just with a little bit more production value.
A little bit, yeah, I 100% agree. Because honestly, for me at least, the original Sudden Death was not my favorite Van Damme movie. So I would say with a little bit of budget, I probably would have liked this movie better. The other one was so big, it was a blockbuster. Oh, shit in it.
This one explains things a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think so. And then some, with the acting and stuff like that, it was a little hammy.
Yeah, a little hammy here and there, yep. But overall, enjoyable.
Yeah, overall enjoyable. Still cool that his wife was actually in this.
Yeah, she was really good.
Yeah, so.
Well, 3.5 out of 5 from the both of us, and it's doing really well on Netflix. So yeah, everyone should go see it.
Yes, definitely check it out. I mean, I think it's one of the top-rated movies like when it came out. So yeah.
Well, that wraps this episode up. But this is October, Lamar. We're starting our Halloween extravaganza.
Heck. Yes, we are. October is the time for thrills, chills, and all that other scared crap. So, what do we have next week, Sean?
Next week, we'll be taking a look at the See No Evil franchise starring WWE superstar Kane. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that.
And we have a lot more stuff in store for Halloween extravaganza.
Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 40. Peace.
Deuces.